Have you ever had this problem where you don't really know where you are on your path, but you still have your goal in mind, but you don't really know what the process consists of, not knowing how to get there to your goal? But the thing you know you want to do is to follow through on your word and be consistent with it. But the fog of procrastination and perfectionism literally is constantly demotivating you to where you'd truthfully rather not do anything at all or wait for the perfect time to when you feel like doing it. In this video today, I'm going to go through how you can start to take, oh my gosh, my brain, how you can step into taking action even if it feels blinding in the moment, and how to be consistent at it. Even if you're a beginner, real clarity comes after action is taken. You move first and then the clarity comes. Now let's get started with this first chapter, which is the cost of perfectionism. The number one thing that really prevents people from getting started is not being able to see the finish line, wanting to be 100% good or perfect at something that they might have no experience in whatsoever. But what does this result in? Procrastination. And what fuels that cycle? Perfectionism. Perfectionism will keep you stuck, wanting things to look or feel a certain way before the skill is actually being built. If you're trying something new, a new way to look at this is to really focus on the basics of what you're trying to accomplish while reaching this goal, focusing on taking the next step, not the next 10 steps ahead. Okay, you want to post on social media so it doesn't feel like you're doing everything all at once. What is one thing you want to do to get better at the process? Start there. Whether that is editing, scripting, or storytelling, all of these skills are going to be built up and solidified in your toolkit on getting to that goal that you had in mind in the beginning with more confidence and really understanding of each skill. When you start to see your steps as little small steps taken to build your skill set level, it'll be so much easier to move because number one, you're less hard on yourself, and number two, you start to enjoy the process more and have fun learning the skills needed to get you there, since it's really now shifted to what's needed to build you up while you're getting to that end goal. It's not about the goal in of itself anymore. No short-term gain, no quick wins, but the process along the way. Chapter number 2, moving even when you don't feel like it. You know this feeling. Zero motivation. Like you would absolutely rather do nothing than this thing you have to do. But here's another way to look at it. What if you just did one thing to get you closer to that goal, knowing that you did achieve the outcome that you wanted, even if it's something so small? If that means posting your video unfinished on social media, but you learned the visuals that you liked during the editing process. If that means taking longer on a video because you're valuing now quality over quantity, but you still make time to post a video since you made the promise to yourself. Even if it's dragged to a different day than you intended to post it, you still got the thing done. As long as it's done. Not perfect. The promise is still kept. The craziest thing that I have found out through my own personal experience is that clarity comes when you keep on moving through that fog every single time. And the more times that you do it, the more it comes quicker than you actually thought it would in the first place. There can be so many times where we feel burnt out. And yes, there's times for rest always, but not everything needs to be perfect. Honestly though, this whole month of me posting 2 times in a week for the whole month of August, I have literally found that I can create at any time that I want. I can find that creativity at any time of the day. Since it's something that I enjoy, it feels like I'm pulling something from something so much bigger than me every single time. Like I can access that at any point that I want to. Even when the brain power is low, because the goal that I have for myself is not perfection. It is just creating. And that can look messy at first, of course. But along the way, I am learning something that is valuable to get to my goal of building up this channel. Continuously taking action though, even when you don't feel like it, will literally build a different type of muscle within yourself. One of inner self-trust. You keep doing that, you naturally become that person in general, and that ripples out to every other area of life as well. Your creativity does not have to be perfect. And I'll talk more about this, of what I do to get myself through the process of feeling in the fog in a bit. Your creativity does not have to be perfect. It just depends what you are focusing on in the moment to get to your ideal goal. Like for me, growing this YouTube channel. Chapter number 3. The secret sauce. Like I said, you will become this person. You will become the consistent person who keeps showing up time after time. You know how crazy that ripples out into all areas of life if you truly look at it. With creativity aside, with social media aside, in all other areas of life, it is literally going to ripple out to where in your health, you behave differently. Your relationships, you behave differently. In your wealth, you behave differently. In every other area, your career, everything that you do, you're going to become a different person to where you're consistent in everything that you do because you have built so much discipline and that self trust combined, which we're about to talk about in this secret sauce. But the ripple effect is real and it is crazy. I'll tell you that for free. But yeah, a consistent person, always doing what you say, even if you don't feel like doing it. And I see this secret sauce as a mix, ready, of discipline and self trust. And what does that become? Clarity. The secret fucking sauce. Discipline action. Taking action every single day, every single week, even when you don't feel like it or you don't want to. It's like when you work out. You don't feel like doing it some days. Nope. But you still do it anyways because you know how you're gonna feel after you do it. And sometimes you get used to something. If you go a day without doing it, it feels so weird to not do it. So it feels like you have to do it every day. That self trust muscle gets compounded through the process. It might not be there in the initial stages, but it will be added throughout time, I promise. And the result is clarity, like I said. You started in the beginning, or maybe in multiple stages throughout the journey in the fog, which is understandable, honestly. But you were still moving, taking that disciplined action, even when you didn't see the results, even when you didn't feel like it, even when you were feeling so demotivated that you would literally choose to sleep, to do nothing at all, to literally do anything other than that. But you still kept it moving, even when you didn't see the results. Or maybe you saw results, but it wasn't that consistent yet, really how you wanted it to look. But even without seeing a result, you kept that promise to yourself to keep following through. And over time, you learned the basic skills needed to fuel you to get to your end goal. So you had that discipline every single day, and that self trust added to the discipline action by following through on your words, making your intentions align directly with your actions. And what comes out of that, yet again, clarity. And that is the secret sauce that I have come to understand. Discipline action, building self trust, even if it doesn't feel like it's so easy to trust yourself in the beginning. Because maybe the fog is even thicker than you would have liked it to be or thought it would be in the beginning. You didn't know. But I will say you don't need anything to get started, to start that discipline action. The self trust comes through the discipline action to where you finally reach that state of where you have been wanting to this whole time. Clarity. Clear discipline plus self trust equals clarity. And this is exactly why clarity comes from movement, discipline, aligned action. Now, for the last chapter here, I have something for you that I have personally done to help me get out of a fog or just out of mental clutter to actually move through the procrastination or confusion, whatever it is. This always helps. And with me doing this consistently, it has helped me get closer to my own goals faster and faster because of the amount of times that I'm doing it. So, with that being said, the last chapter, chapter 4, is my creation and curation hack. Ready? This is how I get into the flow state, the creation state, bringing my ideas to life when sometimes I don't feel like it in the moment. But this is exactly what I do. So, number 1, put a timer on for 30 minutes. Allow yourself to brain dump all of your ideas. Just let it out. No perfection. We're getting all of the ideas out of your head and onto your laptop, on your phone, or your notebook, whatever it is. And the second step that you're going to do right after you do that whole brain dump is to curate your ideas. So after you do that 30-minute interval, now you're going to put on a second timer to curate the ideas. If you want to make what you just dumped into a script, into a daily or weekly follow through process, however that looks like for you. If it's something to do with your business, honestly, it can go for anything. The goal is to first brain dump, then upgrade your ideas. On the first go, you're getting yourself out of the fog. Brain dumping, removing the procrastination simply because you just moved. This clears out all the mental clutter since you're actually in movement. Once you let it all out, that is when you add the structure. If you added the structure first, it would definitely feel more overwhelming. But the brain dump helps you move through the fog to where you dump it all out. Then you might feel good about dumping your ideas. You have more motivation to curate it to how you want it to look. And when you consistently do this, it becomes easier and easier. No matter the brain power, you can always tap into it without perfection. And then come back to it with more brain power. Depending though on how you feel after the initial brain dump, you might come back right after to curate it. Or give yourself some time to sit back and come back to it at a more clearer headspace. What you just did though is move through the fog anyways, getting to more clarity without perfectionism, removing procrastination completely. You're welcome. But before you question yourself again or tell yourself you'll wait another day, another week, I have one question for you. What is this costing you? Are you willing to embrace the learning curve to get there? Or stay stuck where you're at with no risk taken? Make sure you take that action for the clarity to truly appear. Because if I can do it, then so can you. Get to that clarity with the secret sauce that I gave you in this video, with discipline, action, and self-trust, knowing that you'll reach clarity, promise. And even when you feel unmotivated, all you gotta do is put those timers on, and it'll help you step into that creativity. Just remembering the perfectionism is not the goal. It is really just bringing your ideas to life, even if it's messy. It's okay to be messy, I promise.